Now, y'all know I've been talking about leaving the East Coast, which I did, and now I'm over here on the West Coast. And I'm going to tell you what's crazy. There are hardly no black people over here. There's only two black people in my whole development, and I've only seen one black person, and that he works at Publix. I'm in a 99% white town, white community, and it's quiet, it's clean, it's peaceful, ain't no damn interruptions, disturbances, or
Blasphemy.
discrepancies. Why can't we be like that in the black neighborhood? It's a shame we have to move to the other side of the world just to get and be and live the way life was meant to damn be. And that's sad. And I've never lived around white people before, and I got to actually say it's very pleasurable. Message. I'm gonna tell you something. It's a shame how many black people are coming in my box talking to me because I am actually happy that I am living in a neighborhood that is clean, beautiful, clear, quiet, and it just so happened to be around nothing but white people. And I got black people trying to make me feel bad. Because I wanted to
Damn you.
raise my son in an environment where I don't want him thinking smoking crack and being a prostitute and then keeping your neighborhood dirty and around disturbing the peace. Look at my son. Look at my child. My child is living the life, and you think I'm wrong for that?
Hey, I understand her.
Mhm.
I understand her because I felt that way when I came down here to Bama. I didn't want to go home. I was sad getting on the plane. I was like, I got to go back up there. I understand where she's coming from. I do.
I grew up in South Jamaica, Queens, in New York. And I remember that's a predominantly black neighborhood. If you go look up South Jamaica, Queens, they do YouTube stories on how dangerous it is over there. Like they do whole YouTube stories over there. My neighborhood was good, my block, but everywhere else around it was atrocious. And then my daddy, because of tennis and all that, we moved to South Florida. And I remember when we moved to Palm Beach, I was like, Daddy, are we rich now? That was the first question I asked because it was so clean. It was so quiet. In fact, I had a hard time sleeping because there was no gunshots, there were no
No
ambulances,
sirens
there was
and
no
and
sirens, there was no nothing. I was like, what is happening? It's too quiet. I can't sleep in this. What that lady just said is exactly what I talk about with the crab in a bucket mentality. Because black people can't see you living good. This woman is just sharing her experience. She wants better for her son, which every parent should want better for their children. Every parent should strive to give their child better. Black people are so hateful. They will come for her in the comments for shining a light on something that you should all want. But the thing that's crazy is they will say how horrible white people are. After the whole Nolan Wells situation, they're talking about how being around white people is so dangerous and so on and so forth. But yet, it's not the white people neighborhoods that look like that. It ain't the white people neighborhoods that you're gonna be ducking bullets on. It's usually the black neighborhoods. So, I mean, that just shows you exactly what it's all about. Again, shout out to that woman who said, you know what? I'm not going to be stuck in the culture and say, I'm going to bring my baby up. I'm going to give my baby better. He could swim in a pool and not have to be ducking. She ain't got to be worried about anything. Now, let me tell you, white people trouble and black people trouble are two different types of trouble. And it's kind of scary. They're different types of trouble. I'm warning y'all right now. So don't think that because you get out in a white neighborhood, everything is we're skipping through the lilies and tulips. You still got to pay attention to your children. Please understand that. You still got to pay attention to your children. You still got to do like the Bible says, train up your child in the way that they should go. When they're older, they will not depart. Because the white people trouble, they have access to things that black people don't have. I'm telling you right now, they have a different type of access to different things. And that type of trouble that you can get into, please understand. Middle school Crystal got into some trouble that she should have never gotten into, but that's because she was tied up in a different type of trouble and she learned there was a different type of trouble out there. So I'm just letting y'all know that. But outside of that, honestly, I'm so happy for her.
I understand this lady, but my experience is the complete opposite. I grew up with my mom's family, who is, white, and so I went to New York, and it was the complete difference. Like I got to experience all that loud noise and people doing things and gunshots, and then I had a friend convince me to move to Jersey City, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." I get to, her apartment and there's people standing outside. I call her from my cell phone. I say, "Hey." there's, people standing in front of your door. She's like, oh, just walk through them. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Why would I do these things? And so that was my experiences on the opposite side, right? Growing up one way, and then when you venture off, going to school, you meet other people and go different areas. So I absolutely know what she's saying. I said, yeah, I couldn't imagine growing up like that. Right. I couldn't imagine because it was disruptive and I was an adult teen. On the other side, I do think there are Black communities that are very nice, right?
Mhm.
But they get called trying to be white because they want to keep up their communities. They usually get shunned. They're usually more conservative and things like that. And so people don't pay those communities any attention. They only pay the downtrodden ones, which is a lot of the community, because a lot of people in the Black community don't want to stand up against that nonsense. I've seen people go outside and pick up trash after other people, but it becomes useless because you're the only one doing it, right? You're the only one that cares, or the person that did do something in their community, now they're gone and now nobody else does it. So I understand exactly what she's saying, but yeah, to experience it the opposite way around, I couldn't wait to go back home.
There's a lot of really, really good, predominantly Black neighborhoods.
Mhm.
There's a good amount of them, especially out there in the around the Atlanta metro. You like where you just described it, McDonough. I mean, that's probably, it's majority, Black folks that live down in that area. You go out east, out Rockdale County and things of that nature, predominantly, a Black affluent, area where it's quiet and people take care of their yard and you don't see trash all over the place.
Yeah.
There are a lot of those types of neighborhoods, but I do understand this lady, if she grew, I don't know where she came from, but if she moved all the way out to the West Coast, and what people don't understand is that once you get past Texas, there's not many Black people that live out West. You got to get to LA area. But everything from Texas and in between, it's honestly, not a lot of Black folks. 80% of Black people live from Texas to Florida, from Florida up to Maryland. That's where like 80% of Black people live in America. So
But even in this area wise, and this is a big hub for Black people, but even in this area, if you get out of the immediate area, the rest of it's white. Like it's really rural. So, if you don't live right by DC, you tend to live in probably mostly white community.
But the big problem is there are a lot of people that are upset that she got on the internet and said these things. They're not mad that she's doing it. They're not mad that she lives in the area. They're upset that she said something about it. How dare you get out there and say something negative about these communities and positive about the new community that you're in? Just go live your life. That's the problem. Because the reality of it is this: if you come from one of those neighborhoods, if you were born and raised in one of those neighborhoods, as soon as you get some money, you leave those neighborhoods. Everybody does. It's like Uncle Elroy. Uncle Elroy said, hey, I know I said, if I ever get some money, I ain't never going to leave the hood. But he was like, as soon as I got that check, I was gone. And I ain't even mad. To be honest with you, that's a whole heck of a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of people that as soon as they get the ability to move, they move.
I think it's unfortunate that so many people of our hue find it offensive when somebody tells the truth about certain people in our communities. I think it's ridiculous. It's like if you don't talk about it, nobody's gonna know.
Yeah, we all know. Now. We all know. People, or if you don't talk about it, it doesn't exist.
Right. There you go. Okay. So now it's just sad, and I think that they need to wake up from that, because that's just stupid. It's plain dumb. Not talking about it is not going to change the fact that it exists. And I think talking about it is very important. I think it's good. Aside from her cursing, I think it was a great message that she gave us. But do you think that are you saying that nobody sent her the "get out" message?
They absolutely did. They absolutely did. And that's because they swear, like, most people of different cultures and races do not live with each other. They don't interact. So some groups have an idea of what some groups are, and vice versa. And for some reason, that's what happens a lot of the time. But when Black people get out of their environments of only Black people, and they move into these neighborhoods, even if the neighborhood is an affluent Black community, right? They start to understand that it's less about race and more about class.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's very important that we understand this is not about race. Now, they want to make it about race. It's easier for them to argue in that way. But the fact of the matter is, it's about class. It's about people who have a desire to do what's right. People who are decent. They want to be around decent people. And there are a lot of decent Black communities. Trust me on that. This is not about Black people. It's about people who want to do what's right. People who have respect. They've been taught respect. They've been taught how to love their community, how to be respectful, and to take care of their community. And then you have people that don't. And there's an old saying that birds of a feather tend to flock together. Yep. So low down, low life, people who don't have no respect, they tend to gravitate to each other. Yeah. Because if they go into a community that's respectful, they're not going to feel out of place. So that's normally what they do, unless they come to your community in a group where they have their own homies. They ain't coming over there unless they're coming over there to rob you. But the point of the matter is that this is not a race thing. I'm telling you, we have to stop letting them make this a race issue. I grew up in a Black community, a block that was all Black, and we had both middle class, low class, and high class. We took care of our community. But then there were other places not too far away that was a dumpster. So it's the people. And so I have no problem with her expressing her comfort for it. It's unfortunate that she had to find it in a white community only, because there are some Black communities that she could have found that in. The point of the matter is that we need to stop playing games and acting like people who don't respect themselves need to be covered and protected.
Listen, one of the places that I lived in South Florida, our community was beautiful, but across the street was a trailer park.
Come on. Yep.
That trailer park was crazy.
So there's a difference between neighborhoods full of renters and neighborhoods full of owners. People look at things a lot differently because they're like, hey, one of these days I am going to try to sell this thing. And the thing is that I know even my neighborhood, when I put my house up for sale, man, I had my neighbors actually like, yo, bro, you sold your house. That house sold fast. Like, what'd you get for it? And they wanted to know because they're like, I might be putting mine up. You know what I'm saying? In the next month, 6 months, a year. You know what I'm saying? So the mindset's different, and it's more class than race. Yeah, for sure. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, he gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, fear can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. In the Lord hit my chest, kicked death from my breath, put power in my step.